Hey all, Cynthia here from NB Pretty Papers, up today with a Sketch It Out Thursday layout. So when I knew I was doing a sketch, I jumped onto Pinterest and had a bit of a look around looking for a sketch, and this is what I came up with. It's from the Wild Hair Kit Club, and it's their December 2017 sketch, and I thought it was perfect. I had a lot of small pieces of my last kit left, half pieces, so I just wanted to use as much as I can and showcase what I could showcase. So I thought this would be a perfect layout. I've grabbed just a bit of old cardstock that was laying around that I'd used for some stamping and some colouring in. Back to my two photos on those. So both of these photos are 3x4. And I'm going to mount both of those on that 6x6 piece of paper from the Pink Fresh Studio Be Beautiful collection. I think it could be, or is it the... No, actually I don't think it is the Be Beautiful. I think the 6x6 is from the Simple and Sweet collection, sorry. So now I'm making a template to cut out all the little triangles. So I cut my piece down there. My initial piece was 3x2 inches, I think it was, and then from that I have cut out my triangle, and now I'm just going to use that to go through each of the papers that I think I might use. So as you see here, all I'm doing is just grabbing the triangle, laying it out onto my piece of paper, holding it nice and steady so it doesn't wobble too much as I'm trimming around it. I figured that was going to be a little bit quicker than grabbing the trimmer and using the trimmer. So if you follow along with me, you know that where I can, I generally use the scissors. I find the scissors quicker to use than the trimmer most of the time. So this is a paper from the Paige Evans Pick Me Up collection, so I'm just trimming out some triangles. This one's from the Pink Fresh Studio Case of the Blahs, and I'm deliberately trying to pick pieces from this paper that have some interest on it. So it has at least a slither of orange on it that it's going to show. So here you see I use that go to try to get those hearts, so I can have the hearts on the triangle. I do cut out 4 from each page, and I plan on spreading those around. I end up cutting out a couple extra that I don't use, but I gave myself a few options. So I'm going back now, realizing that I want 4 from each, so I've sorted them out to see which ones I need more of. And I've just come back to this paper and going to cut out another couple from that one. Going through, seeing what else I can use, what do I still need. I realised that I was a couple short on that Paige Evans paper too, so I think I'll go into my stash and find another piece. As you can see, I'm really using up some of these smaller scraps, which is fantastic. I'm really enjoying that. Decided that I like the hearts and think they would look really good on the page as well, but these are the ones that I don't use. You'll see when I come to put them on the page, they just don't work, so they don't end up getting used. And the other side of it, the colours wasn't what I was looking for this layout, so I set those aside, and in the end I actually have too many triangles cut, so it was worked out well. So just cutting up these last ones now, and just moving my last little scraps, and now I grab out a white cardstock and I fussy around on how I'm going to lay them out. So I come back in with my photos here, mount those and cut them down as I want them, because I want to put these in the middle and then mark out exactly where it's going to sit, so I know how to lay the triangles around the edge. So that's just going to be my block there. Just gave a couple of little marks, and that's where you could see. So I had the hearts And the moment that I went to put them on the other side of the page, my hearts were going to be upside down. And I didn't particularly like that. So that lot got set aside. And as you see, as I'm starting to spread them out here, I didn't need them anyway. There was enough with the 4 that I already had. So just spreading it out, I have them laid where I think I want them laid, and now I just shuffle them around a little bit to get the designs that I like as well. I come in here and swap a couple around. I think the blue, the greeny paper there that has that triangle pattern on it, or diamond shaped pattern, this one, I find it's a little bit too strong, so I flip it over to the lighter side and it works perfectly fine. And then I just swap these 2 around because when I was up the top, the arrow was facing off the page. So I thought, oh, if I bring that down to the bottom, the arrow will face in towards the photo. But no, that doesn't work, of course. So that's basically the design of how the papers are going to look. I cut away in a moment, and I actually stitch all those down because you can't see that with my camera. The way it's set up, I do cut away and do that, and you come back and see it all stitched. And so I grab some yellow thread, and I just run right through the whole lot. But before I get to that, I'm going through the embellishments and seeing what I can use. I love these acrylic pieces, and I've been wanting to use them, and I really want to use that and ampersand there, but I just couldn't make it work. I couldn't think of a title where I would need and. So that doesn't go on the page. There you go. This is where I grab the glue out in a minute, and I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue behind each one to hold it in place long enough to be able to get the sewing machine through. So don't make you watch me do all that, because you can see. And there we go. All sewn, all done. Liking the way that looks. And I'm going to start to lay things up here. So put my photos down. Pull out a couple of more pieces of paper because I know I want to back them. I want these photos to stand off the page a little bit more. Didn't quite think that one was right, and didn't want to cut up those sheets on the back because I want to use a couple of them still. So it went through the rest of the stash, pulled out this gorgeous paper from Pink Fresh Studio Simple and Sweet collection. And I'm going to trim out the middle because I want to use that. I've got plans for that piece. And I want to save as much as I can. So I trim that little bit out, and then I'm going to see how I can make it. I like that. It's just light and subtle, but it's enough to give it a little bit of a break from the background. So now I'm going through, and then I remembered I have a little bit of that lemon paper left from the 6x6 paper pad as well, so I'm going to use that on the other corner. So I'm just fiddling around. I know I want to use that taxi because the photos are of our son when was on holidays visiting his sister. She has a dog, and he spent a lot of the time pushing Frankie the dog around on the chair, and she just thought she was bee's knees. Even when he'd stop pushing her, she would just sit on the chair looking around saying, well, aren't we going somewhere? Aren't you going to push me around still? And so it was quite funny how she would just stay there waiting and expecting a little bit more. So I trimmed down the yellow paper, then realised that I trimmed it exactly the same height as the grey paper behind it, and I didn't like that. So I tried to shove a little piece back in. I didn't like that, so I pulled it out and just trimmed the yellow piece a little bit shorter. Felt like the yellow was a little bit too much, so I've trimmed it down so it's just a little smidgen showing behind the photo. Now I'm going to mount this photo so it's up off the page a little bit, and I'm just using some leftover chipboard. About a month or so ago, I took all the chipboards that I have off the chipboard papers and have put them all in a container. Now I have to apologise. I don't know. I thought I was recording, but I paused again. I've got to get the hang of my new camera here. And I've put down all my embellishments. So those up on the top left-hand corner there, you see that star. They are the acrylic pieces that I was working with. I've just pulled those out, made them into a bit of a star shape, grabbed a chipboard piece off the 12 by 12 Here and There collection, from the Here and There collection I should say, and put that over the top of it, and I really like the way that comes out. And you saw me earlier in the piece with the puffy stickers, deciding which title I would use, so I've just used Great Memories down the bottom. Also grabbed one of the cameras from that and stuck that down, so try to get that black element in 3 different places. There are a lot of close-up photos at the end, so do stay tuned to have a look at those. They show it all in some good detail. And then I decided to mount this one on some black paper just to help it bring in that black and make it pop, so it sort of framed it, and I loved the way this one turned out. So that's it. As I said, lots of photos. Do stay tuned. Thank you very much for sticking with me this far. If you enjoyed the process, as always, please give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button to the Crafty Maven Getaway channel so you see all the goodness that happens there. Jump onto my channel, MB Pretty Papers. Feel free to subscribe to me. I'd love it if you did. Leave a comment. Love reading all your comments. And until next time, everyone have a lovely day, a lovely week, or a lovely month. And I will catch you on the next video. Talk to you then. Bye.